All right. So just to recap for the recording, uh, you know, uh, you can essentially use any material, and I want everybody to use a variety of materials. I mean, so not like one person using a variety. I would like it if one person used one thing, one person used another thing, and that way we could all gain from each other's experiences making this project. And then in terms of like what you can use anything you can sit on, pretty much, right? So I was just telling you guys about how a student used radios, and he basically epoxied them together. That's another thing that we're gonna like go over, and maybe it might even be worth having a meeting uh, next Monday, and that's or I'll just put together a tutorial. Maybe that's better. Um, and that's what kind of adhesives to use in this project. Okay, so I've had a student use radios. I've had a student use um, insulation foam. In other words, this person built this structure and then built like, just sprayed, I don't know, maybe about like 10 cans of insulation foam around the structure, and then used, you may not know this, but if you want to slice insulation foam, the best knife to use is a bread knife, right? And it slices super easy with a bread knife. And there's little like process tricks and materials tricks, and that's why I'm here, because like I've seen all of it and I've probably used all of it. So I've seen a student use string made a hammock, right? So that's fair, right? That's fair game. And the hammock was, I don't know if that's technically a chair, but they used it as a chair to sit in, and that worked. I've seen a student use bricks and mortared them together into this chair, and this is when we were in face to face. So um, you know, normally when we're face to face for the critique, I sit in the chair and then I tell you, oh, it's comfortable, or if it falls apart, then that's a failure, etc. So this is new territory for me, but I'll be able to tell, how sturdy it is, and I can sort of like guess or estimate if it's comfortable or not. And so that part's not to worry, but what I'm more interested in is that you design something with stuff that's laying around. So it could be sticks. It could be like if you have garbage bags full of leaves or something, you can bind them together and make a giant like beanbag chair. All these things are acceptable. Like I'm I'll give you a lot of latitude on what we call a chair, and so as long as you can sit in it, and keeping that idea of being ergonomic is a thread that I want you guys to like follow throughout the semester, even when we do the final project. Okay, so how to go about this is going to be different, because normally I'll just say, okay, here's here's a chair made out of sticks or cardboard or whatever, and like do your thing. But since so many of us are isolated, that we have to do this a little bit different. And so what I'm going to ask is project 2 will be the real size chairs with any supplies. Correct. Yeah, that's right, Brian. So any size chair needs to be comfortable, and out of any material that you have around. Now, I said to, it should be non-standard materials, like no plywood or, 2x4s from Home Depot. But if you have that laying around, just go ahead. It's like I'm taking off that restriction so that you can use whatever's around. Okay, so um, if a bag of leaves counts as a material, you can imagine in like bricks laying around, or crushed up cans, or not even crushed up. Maybe you um, attach them in a way that, like, when you sit in it, you kind of crush the cans, so that it form fits. So that's, packing material. Packing materials are really, really good idea for a chair. If you can bind it together and put it on even the styrofoam, if you can make sort of an understructure and then use packing material, would be great. Um, what about stuff out of the refrigerator? Old food? Fine, fine. If this is a chair that only lasts a few days and then it rots and falls apart and then you use it for compost, also fine with me, right? Okay, so still just has to be comfortable, right? So, people have made, I think it was a chair. No, it wasn't a chair. It was a container. But people have used like the weirdest things, like carrots and, you know, potatoes and stuff like that for this project. So, what I want you to like get from this meeting is that you can use anything, and how you attach it is where the process comes in, right? So if somebody has cardboard, um, I basically have a cardboard process. I already have a video for it. So, I'll post, I don't know, maybe it's posted already, but I'll post tutorials for each one of you, right? That needs a tutorial, right? So if somebody has like sticks, and then we'll figure out how to drill pilot holes and how we're going to attach them, and if we need to countersink stuff. And so for everybody, since there's only 5 of us, or there's only about 5 of you that are active out of the 7. So this is, I think it's a good opportunity. This will be the project where I work with you individually the most, right? So if you have uh, some weird material laying around, then you'll get with me and we will figure out a plan forward. Um, you'll figure out the plan forward. I'll just help you with the process. In other words, what epoxy to use, what hardware to use, how to bind these together. Do we want to bolt this together, etc. So that's the project. What I would like you to do this week, hopefully in the next couple days, and it just dawned on me that I need to make it an assignment so that it's out there, and the people out that didn't get to the meeting will have to watch this and then and do the assignment. So the assignment is going to be, I'm going to write it down so I don't forget. So the assignment is going to be very, very brief. It'll just take you a minute to do this, or a couple minutes. So I want you to like go around where you are, and or where you work maybe, or anywhere that's accessible to you. And I want you to do an inventory of all the materials you can possibly think of, even if you don't think it'll work for a chair. Any material that you can get for free, right? Nobody's paying for anything, right? That's the one rule, is this has to be a free project. except for if you have to go buy glue or string or tape or something like that, right? Okay, so the base, the essential material has to be free, must be free, right? So, um, you know, one person took apart this plastic, I think it was like, wasn't a big wheel, but it was like a green machine or whatever those were. Do you remember those? And you don't, of course, you don't remember those. You weren't born yet. But it was like these tricycles that were made out of molded plastic, you know, and deconstructed it and stitched it together into this phenomenal looking chair, right? So there's been a chair made out of tires where they cut up the rubber and flexed it around so that it held itself up. There was no understructure, and it made a oddly comfortable chair. I mean, it like had some give, but it was firm. So um, your assignment is to come up with a list of materials that you can get for free and make the list as extensive as possible. Include everything, right? You know, it could be clothes, right? You could sew together some sort of chair and stuff it full of like packing, and that'd be a perfectly great solution for this project. Okay. Okay. So, um, do you guys have any questions about this? It's pretty straightforward, but if we do this right, and I feel like it's I'm in this position where I don't want to force meld you together and say, oh, you comment on hers and you comment, and like have this forced thing. But I like to encourage you to like, um, you know, engage a little more than you guys have been. And it's, of course, I'm preaching to the choir. It's like, it's the others that aren't really engaging. But hopefully, especially with a class this size, we need to like get together more as a unit. If we were face to face, I'd be like, hey, let's all, after class, let's all go have a beer or whatever, and just so that we could like hang out. But since we can't do that, the only other option is to like have you guys sort of like interact and comment and etc. Right? So try to do that more. It'll help everyone if we can do it. And the technical side, like Herbert was saying, like the discussions, I don't know what's happening there, but I'll figure that out. And I apologize that I haven't figured that out yet. Um, yeah, that's it. So if there's no questions, and let's see, the due date on this is October. I think it's a November project. Those projects here finished. No, that's not you guys. I think you guys have approximately 5 weeks to do this, 4 weeks. I think you have a month to do this. And what I hope we could do is, or maybe it's not, maybe it's 3 weeks. But I hope you guys can see that this it's probably not going to be as super labor intensive project. I mean, you can make it like a really, really elegant, something you want to keep kind of chair. Or you can just put something together so that it's sort of transitory, just like, what do we need October 11th show so far? This is Brian. Okay, Brian, I'll talk to you in a minute. So the one thing that I would like you to do also, I think this might have to be, no, I'll just put this on your to-do list. But I just posted on the project module, I just posted Rivers and Tides. And I would like you to watch that this week sometime. All right. And if you want to skip ahead, to the way things go. That it's a half-an-hour film. It's loosely related, but it's more about just sort of being kind of inventive and using your ingenuity for construction. But Rivers and Tides is more direct because um, what the artist does, and his name is Andy Goldsworthy, and I have to be 100% honest right here. I love his work, but his pitch, like his voice, just like goes right through my head, and I I love like when I watch this video, I sort of have to turn the volume down because it's like, and then there's nothing, you know, people adore him. People adore Andy Goldsworthy and like what he has to say and stuff. But he just, frankly, he makes me crazy a little bit. So, but I have to say his work is remarkable, and there's something very, very basic and like instinctual about the way he assembles stuff, and that's something that I want you to consider also as an option for this project. Like, can you make? Do you have stones around your property where you can just place them and make something that's utilitarian, like a chair? And that because that's essentially what he does, right? And he uses branches and leaves and sort of like he uses this idea of like natural phenomena in his work. And if you can incorporate that in addition to, you know, the criteria of the project, in other words, you make the project utilitarian with stuff you have around, right? And then also sort of like deconstruct the material and then turn it into something else, right? The meaning becomes something else. Not only do you you take apart the the items itself, but you also take apart the meaning, right? So, like for example, if you have 500 Coke cans, right, and you like, oh, okay, well, how am I gonna like make this so that it's a chair? You can cover it with like material and then just plop yourself down and there's your chair. Or you can take each can, cut them up, turn them inside out so that the aluminum's out, right? And rearrange them so that the meaning of the Coke can is some other thing. It means you've just boiled it down to the elements, right? So that's something that, um, in a way, that's sort of extra credit at this point. And since I'm assigning this online, I kind of like, you know, I kind of want to keep it fairly simple. But if you want to make this, you know, it's that same idea of making. Do you want this to be an Ivy League project, or do you want this to be like, you know, junior college project? That part you'll figure out on your own. But if you want to make it like, if you want to get something extra out of it, think about how you're going to take the material and deconstruct it and deconstruct the meaning and take that meaning and put it into something that's utilitarian, right? A chair. So that's as good as I can describe it online. And you know, um, so this week you have two things you have to do by Sunday, and that is, and I'll make an announcement, and I may even put it as an assignment. But you need to have your inventory, and you need to like watch Rivers and Tides, and I think that's not too much to ask for 1 week. Okay. Okay, so let's conclude this meeting. Unless you have, you know, any other questions, then I will see you um, maybe
Uh,
next week. I think I would like to have depending on your, let's do it this way. Let's see what you guys come up with in terms of materials. I'll take a look, and then I'll decide if we need to have like a adhesive tutorial or a meeting or individual meetings. I'll decide once you guys turn all your stuff in, okay? So we'll do it that way. Okay. So you, Brian, you hang in there, and then the rest of you, I'll see you guys soon.
Thanks, Adam.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Herbert. Okay, so Brian, when is listed materials due date? That's going to be this week by Sunday sometime for project 2.
Okay.
Okay. And then what do we need to turn in October 11th? Yes, that'll be that. That's what I'm talking about. So by October 11th, that's what you need to turn in. Just your list of materials that you have around the house. Remember, we kind of did this last semester, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So I want you to go around and look and see what you have to work with, right? And what else? Show your work. Oh, and watch the film.
Watch the film.
Rivers and Tides.
But do we have to turn anything in for that film, or just watch the
Just watch
film?
it. We'll do honor system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what about the quiz? There was a quiz due Sunday, October 11th. What's that?
That's right. I forgot to go over the quiz. See, I didn't write that down. So let me see. I'll extend the quiz to later. And no. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Me and you are going to go over the quiz now, and
Mhm.
I'll post this recording with this information on it so that others can see. Got it?
Okay. Got it.
Okay, so hang in there. Let me share screen.
Okay.
My desktop. All right, you with me?
Yes.
Okay. Then we will go to we are in here we are. You're correct. Thank you, Brian, for reminding me.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go through the quiz real fast, and then you can take the quiz, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so question number 1, does this have to be a real chair?
Yes.
Yes. Why does it have to support my own weight or your own weight?
Structure integrity number B.
No, that's true, but it's not the most correct answer. Most correct answer
Is C.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
All right. What do you mean by alternative materials? Start with materials, objects that have a different purpose. For example, PVC pipe. Lumber, no, that's regular. Plywood, regular. Stock metal, that's not alternative. So it's A.
So A.
Yeah.
Okay.
Question 4, I don't remember the answer, so does it have to be comfortable like the Ergo Form project? Absolutely yes,
Yeah.
or no, but you see me working, right? That's the one.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, because I want you to do it, but it doesn't have to be comfortable.
Comfortable. Okay.
Okay. What if I find a material but have no idea how to use it for my chair? Do extensive research in alternative uses of the material, confer with your classmates in a discussion on Canvas, consult with me as soon as possible, all of the above.
All the above?
Yep. Uh, can I buy materials for this project? No. All found
No.
objects. Yes, you can go buy a whole chair if you like. Yes, but the chair should be essentially found objects. None of the above.
Yes, but the chair should be essential found objects.
Correct. Yep. What if I find material considered to be standard use for the construction of chairs like scrap lumber? If this is all you can find, then that's okay, but not ideal. The non-standard element should shift to your design. You can never disobey project rules and criteria.
Um, is it A?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What adhesive should I use to join different materials like metal and wood? Contact cement, epoxy, Elmer's, super glue. You should know.
Epoxy?
Yes. Very good. Can I buy hardware for this project?
No.
Answer is yes, because
Oh.
yeah, I just prefer you don't. Okay.
Okay.
How should I document this work? Take pictures of your work frequently, update me often on Hangouts, post progress on Canvas discussion, submit completed project with images from all angles, and a short video of you sitting in the chair, or all of the above.
All the above?
That's right. And then we submit, and then I got 10 points on my own quiz.
Uh,
All right.
okay.
Okay, so that'll cover. So take the quiz. I forgot to tell the others, so thank you. And
Yeah.
so take the quiz, watch
Mhm.
the film, inventory,
Okay.
yeah, inventory
Inventory.
by
But everything by Sunday, right?
Sunday.
That's
Yeah.
what you said?
Yep.
So, but for the second project, is it everything have to be free, right? Or is
All the
like we can have,
all the main materials. But if you have to buy epoxy, then you can't make epoxy, right? So
yeah.
I mean, if you did, I'd give you extra credit for epoxy, but yeah. So if you need to buy like, consumables and adhesives and that kind of stuff, then that's okay.
Okay. But we have to use only one material to build a chair,
Now,
or
it can be several different things, as
Mhm.
long as it's free, right?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But if you find just one thing, then that's usually enough, right? If you find enough of it,
Mhm.
whatever it is, right? So, you don't want to make it like too many different things. Then it gets a little tricky, right? But keep it simple because we don't have all that much time for this project. So
You said we have 1 month to complete, right?
Yeah, I think it's 1 month, but maybe it's more like, might be more like 3 weeks. I'll look. I think it should be 1 month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you see the one that I submit for the first project or?
I haven't looked at those yet, but I'll look at it.
Oh,
Yeah, but I thought I'll look at it and we'll talk about it.
okay.
But as long as it's comfortable, like it fits in your hand nice, and
Mm-hmm.
the corners are sanded round, and you saw the one that I made for you guys, right?
Yes,
Yeah, so
I
it
did.
should be comfortable, right?
Okay. All
Okay.
right. So, you will make another announcement. We're gonna have another meeting, right? Or
Yeah, I'll make an announcement about. I'll do it right now because I don't want to forget about
Mhm.
the quiz and stuff. Okay. So,
Okay.
or actually, I'm gonna
All right.
I'll upload this meeting to. It'll take me a little while, but later on today I'll have it up there and then I'll make an announcement. Okay.
Okay. All right. See
All
you
right.
later.
All
Bye,
right.
Aaron.
Bye.